welcome to this week's edition of Car Stars and Roll Bars. We touch on all kinds of facets of this amazing culture of the automotive realm, so to speak. Whether it's builders, museums, collectors, celebrities, the list goes on. Do me a personal favor, make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all the good stuff so you know what we're doing. And it's kind of like Amway, right? Tell two friends about what we're doing. Today, we are thrilled to have Lana Chrisman, and she is from the Lions Automotive Foundation, Automobilia Foundation and Museum, Brainlock this morning. And they're located in Rancho Dominguez, California, and they are dedicated to honoring and preserving the legacy of motorsports and car culture in Southern Nevada for the future generations. The nearly 100,000 square foot facility not only includes galleries featuring these famous car culture of Southern California and the rich motorsports history, but also the largest collection of Willys cars and trucks in North America and the home of the Spirit of Lions drag strip exhibit. And you've heard me say it before, I'll gladly say it again, right? A picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, with the help of a whole bunch of folk, we found a really cool video that's probably worth about $1 million. Check this out. So the viewers that know how mad I am about Mopars and I love my wing cars, naturally, that B-roll little video, if you will, a really cool video, had to end with a Superbird. I think we got Lana waiting to join us in studio remotely. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. We are thrilled to have you with us. And the mantra for my viewers, you're going to hear a lot. You guys are so much more than just a museum, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We go beyond just having your standard, display with a car and a bio. We have so much more going on here.
That's excellent. I believe it was, check my notes here, you're the executive director, right? So
Yes,
you
sir.
get a kind. So how did you end up with probably the world's coolest job?
It was pure luck. It was I came in 2019 as a volunteer. I was asked to just help out. Originally Dave Mandela and Ron Marchese approached my brother and I about adding the Chrisman 29 and our T-Bird into the exhibit. And I got involved with working with them, and I started utilizing some of my tools and marketing and social media. And eventually they came to me and they're like, you're doing a lot of volunteering. Why don't we just bring you on full time?
Nice.
It was perfect timing for me. I'd worked for profits all my life.
Excellent.
And I'm at the age now I want to give back to the industry.
There you go.
And this is a fantastic opportunity. And Rick Lorenzen, our founder and chairman of the board here for the Lions Foundation, is an incredible man, and he's given us a treasure for our industry, to provide this foundation and the cars and the atmosphere, and he's doing so much for us. So I'm truly honored to have the opportunity to be brought on.
Absolutely. And you're the queen of segue. Talk about this treasure of all this stuff going on. We've got some pictures we have to share. And before we go there, I got to tell you, one of the hardest jobs I have with great guests like you, you send me all these pictures. I'm going, I want that one. I want that one. Okay, now the show's going to be 3 hours long. But So this is highlights for all the viewers because there is so much more to this than we could capture in a few shots. I think we have some pictures of the property area. Now, this would be like kind of entering into like the Willys area, right?
Yeah, this is we created Ron Marchese and Rick Lorenzen. I mean, it was Rick's vision, and Rick's love is the Willys automobile,
Yeah.
starting with the Stonewoods and Cook Swindler Bee. So they created a Willys showroom. So this is the entrance to the Willys showroom here. We have on the one side you see all the 30s Willys, on the other side you see the 40s.
Nice.
And we have in total, I believe, as of now, we have 51 Willys in our collection.
Wow, and I think we got some more pics of the property here. Now, if
Yeah.
there's an entrance, how cool is that?
Yeah, I mean, this whole entrance is kind of cool. So the room that the cameraman's standing in is our Hollywood and service area room, and it's going in to enter into the Lions drag strip exhibit and Long Beach Grand Prix exhibit.
Perfect.
But what's cool about this is this Hollywood sign is actually from the old Peterson Museum.
Really?
So remember back in the day, the Peterson Museum, they did their facelift, and we were able to capture this great sign and the palm trees and such. And so we brought a little bit of the Peterson Museum
Beautiful.
into the Lions Automobilia Foundation.
Excellent. I think we got a couple more. Now, how can you talk about that era without having a cool diner, which you guys just have?
Right, exactly. This diner here was designed by a Hollywood set designer, and it was actually used in the movie 9/11. So
Wow.
it's a full functioning kitchen, a commercial kitchen. See the Viking steel and refrigerators in the back. However, because the cars are in the same room, Rick doesn't want us cooking in there, so he doesn't want any grease on the car. So it's a beautiful diner setup. We do a lot of car club meetings in here.
Perfect.
It's our VIP area for our members, so it's a lovely area.
Excellent. I think we got one more, and as I understand, again, another unique aspect with your fantastic museum. A lot of the items you'll see in these display cases are from the actual racers themselves.
Yes, so I think that this area here, we have 32 showcases as of date. We're going to be adding additional showcase into the Lions room as well as into our new areas as they open up. But it is special because a lot of what you see in these showcases are from the families or they're from the actual legends. So you don't
Beautiful.
typically see these in a typical, museum.
Yeah.
And I
Right
think
on.
that's what makes our museum so warm is
Yes.
it's so personal.
It's personal. And talking about stuff you don't see, I'm going to give my version of a segue. I think we have some shots of some murals that are on your
Yeah.
property, including a couple of legends that are near and dear to my heart. Just kind of walk us through these, Lana. These are amazing.
So this mural here, this is one of the original murals that were painted in the first gallery. We have 6 galleries, I believe, right now in the museum. This is one of the first ones. This is basically everything's tied around Rick's story. So when you walk into our museum, Rick's story is in all the artwork. So this particular one is a corner where he hung out with. He was a young man, and the cars in this mural are cars that we have here in the foundation. So they're on display. The people are people like the young woman sitting on the car. That's actually the vice president of price transfer, and the gentleman he's talking to is his best friend. So it's like
Oh, I love it.
everything ties together so lovely.
Beautiful. I think
But
we
yeah,
got a
Rick,
couple.
Roy Horwick is the artist. Roy has, I would say he's done probably at least 50% of the artwork, probably even more of the artwork. He's in 4 galleries right now,
Beautiful.
is his
Excellent.
work. And unfortunately, we just recently lost Roy.
Yeah. And here we go. Wow.
Yeah, this is our Kenny Youngblood
Yes.
mural. Beautiful work. And the sign in front of it is a recreation. So just amazing, the detail. And what's fun about this, and I just recently talked to Kenny, I asked, I go, who's in this mural? He goes, Lana, really, it's only like a couple people. Everyone else it's generic. So what's great about it, it allows visitors to really use their imagination.
Yes. Yes.
and get engagement going. Oh, I think that's that person. So it's fun for them to kind of guess on who they think they are.
Exactly. I think we have a few more examples. Now,
Yeah.
this is coolness personified, in my humble opinion, right there, bud. Wow.
This is probably the most photographed part of the museum right here is the Lions
Absolutely.
Drag Strip starting line.
I think we got one more kind of, yeah, if you see that in your review mirror, I think you're going to lose the race.
Exactly. That's Jerry Rushing's Torpolino. Great,
Yep.
great, great car.
And if I remember correct, my days of announcing Torpolino is Italian for little mouse or something like that.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I think. I'm sure one of the viewers can help me. And actually, Kenny Youngblood, I just spoke to him recently as well. He's so excited. He's going to be in studio with an episode down the road, and he's just such a fantastic talent for my viewers. If you haven't heard of Kenny Youngblood, you got to Google him. He does art the way most people breathe. It's just very natural to him. And you have a lot, and again, this is more than just a museum. You have a lot of events at your property as well.
Dude,
And so this is a great shot of like an 8 top or a 10 top. And so whatever the viewers, whatever event you're thinking about having, what better place to have in Southern California and be surrounded by all this history and these cool cars.
Right. And we have different settings, and we have events in the diner. We have events here on the drag strip. We have a new Lions event center that we're building that is going to be representing all of Southern California motorsports. So we're going to have, a big stadium, drag boat racing, Ascot. We're going to have represented there for dirt track racing, NASCAR. So, and here's another event where what we try to do is bring speakers in.
Perfect.
And just have the legends come in and talk. And here you can see Donnie Couch and Carl Olson and Dar Hawthorne talking to Esky and Bone. And then we have Maravis and the Snake over in the far right. So, it's great to have these guys come here. They're comfortable here. Beautiful. It's like coming home for them.
Absolutely correct. And what fascinates is you really go out of your way. You have youth projects, different processes for the young at heart, these young adults, if you will. They really start getting hands-on education on just how cool it is to play with cars.
Well, our mission here at the foundation is bringing the youth involved and getting that next generation involved. And in this photograph here, this is Hot Rodders for Tomorrow. We host their West Coast events, where it's a high school competition where teams of 5 get together and compete on building the engines, and they are judged and timed. So we have judges watching how well they're doing it and timing it.
Very, very cool. And for the viewers, Rick, if you want to pull us back up together real quick, because we got some more pictures coming up. And again, a lot of the museums, they do a great job. And we've had different museums on. Some are more static displays. So not only do you do events, you have stuff for the youth, as Joe Pesci would say, and my cousin Vinny, right? You also build cars?
We do. We have a full restoration facility here. Many of the cars you see on display have been, I call them, they were born here.
Nice.
And we have our own fabrication, our own paint and body. We have here's our fabrication shop. This is a 33 Willys street rod pickup we're building for Tammy Lorenzo Fanslow. Building it here all on property by our team.
Wow.
So the only thing we do not do here on property, we do not do upholstery, we do not do engines, but everything else is done here on property. Rob Marchese, who is our director of operations, oversees all the project builds.
Wow. When I saw some of the work on this, when you go to whack a top, there is so many parts on it. And I think we've got it's kind of a step back shot of the whole side of the car. And it's just, you go, yowzer, because when it's proportioned correctly, then you get the results of something like this, where you really
And this project's been tremendous to watch. And I go back there and I speak to our fabricators. I stand back in awe, of the craftsmanship that Daniel's putting into this, because it is truly an art form. And part of our education engagement is letting the next generation know you could have a career and build machines like this.
Wow.
And we just want to expose them to that and let them know what's available.
Let them know what's available. Before we go into our next series of pictures, because obviously we're going to have some shots of the cars, want to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit more on you. And we talked about how you got into this, and here's a hint to the viewers. She was passionate about what she wanted to do as a volunteer. And
Yes.
I'm a firm believer when you give back, you get it. It's returned to you tenfold.
It
So
is
through,
tenfold.
yeah,
Absolutely.
right.
I cannot encourage people enough. If you have an opportunity to volunteer, it is so rewarding. And you walk out with such a good, warm feeling for volunteering. Like I said, I started out here as a volunteer. I currently volunteer for on a SEMA council for the Hot Rod Restoration Industry Alliance. So it's just a great feeling to give back to an industry that has given my family so
Oh,
much.
absolutely. So reflecting on this amazing trajectory of what you've had in your professional career, your volunteerism, and now where you've ended up the executive director, who was or still is some of your favorite mentors?
Oh, well, I mean, I always said Mickey Thompson
Yeah,
because he was
yeah.
just such, my God, I mean, what could he not do?
Right,
And
right.
I always talk to Danny Thompson about this. I'm like, God, your dad was amazing. And it was like 2023, more school field trip programs. I
Excellent.
just got the call yesterday with homeschool because those kids that are homeschooled want to find out what's available for them.
Absolutely.
We're going to be
Absolutely.
doing, our education committee implemented some workshops that we're going to start on Saturday afternoons for kids to come in and do workshops from ages 5 to 6 all the way up to 18. And we're going to be working with Hot Rodders tomorrow on building our own 2 5-person teams to be able to compete in the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow competitions. Because, like I said, it's
Yeah,
important
absolutely.
to let the kids know what's available to them. And as you know, this is a great industry.
Oh, it's amazing.
You know, the automotive side of it, the motorsports side of it, and there's so many opportunities. You know, how rewarding is it to be able to get up in the morning and go and do something you love and not call it a
Absolutely
job?
correct.
I mean, that to me, that's your key. If you could pull that off, that's a huge success.
Excellent. Well, we got some pictures here of some cars as well. So I just, and I have to laugh. My producer, Rick Manning, and I, Rigel Studios, we're just going through the picture and he went, oh my. I said, oh yeah. So
Yes.
where are we at right now, Lana?
This is inside the Willys showroom. So
Very
this
cool.
is our 1940-41 Willys. The blue turquoise one on the far right here, that's actually a 1953 Willys convertible that was a prototype, and it
Wow.
was built specifically to go to the 1953 State Fair. And it showed there that one portion of the event, and then was never seen again. So that's a
Really?
one-off concept car. And the far Willys, you see the brown one on the far end. That was actually the first Willys that Rick purchased in 1960 for $65. And because of him going to Lions and watching the Stonewoods and Cook Willys, he went
Yes.
out and found that car.
Yes. Yes. Whoa.
Yeah,
This is
these are our
nice.
1930s over here.
So how many Willies do you have in house now?
51 in house.
51.
51 either completed or in process.
Yeah. Well, you got to have more than two or three just cuz.
Yeah, we say we have the largest collection in North America. It could be farther than that. It's a huge collection of Willys.
I absolutely love it. I think we got a few more here. This is to me such an iconic picture. I love the color, just the lighting, and then you see the big marquee behind it with some of the favorite movies, including, of course, Smokey and the
Right,
Bandit. So tell us a
right.
little bit about this.
So this is our movie room in here. Our Hollywood horsepower is what we call it, and
Beautiful.
the names up on the marquee, the Thelma and Louise, Back to the Future. Those cars we have, tribute cars and reproductions of the cars that were in that movie.
Beautiful.
And then in the back, you see, the Granada Theater, which is in Wilmington, which that's a theater that Rick used to hang out at. The barber shop, and then next to it, we have a tobacco shop and music shop and such. Rick took the team down to Disneyland and they photographed downtown Disney. He goes, I want that feeling in my museum.
Really?
So we created this little main street inside the Hollywood Horsepower Gallery.
I'm loving that title of Highwood Horsepower, by the way.
Right?
I think we got a couple more here. That is just, and it's a speed shop. I mean, of course,
That,
you got,
yes.
and
And
yeah,
what's cool here, when you walk into the museum, that entrance you showed early in the filming, when you walk in, you're actually walking into the speed shop.
nice.
And this represents when Rick got out of college, he was an accountant, and he worked as a bookkeeper at Dugan's Speed Shop. And so one of the first displays they built was this speed shop to represent where he kind of started out in the, in the auto industry. So you walk into the museum and you walk into the speed shop and you have all these actual vintage, parts hanging from the walls, and it's a great experience when you walk in.
Wow. This, it, and I remember as a kid, when I was, late teens, early 20s, my local
Right.
speed shops, I just went in there to look around.
Oh,
It's
exactly.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. We have guests walk in, they're like wanting to buy the parts here, and we're like, no, that's display. But I mean, there's some very rare items there that
Of
you,
course.
you haven't seen in 40 years.
Exactly. I think we got one more shot here. And this is the Willys that Mikey, okay, I'm a Mopar guy, a lot of you know that, but this particular era of the Willys, oh my goodness, when you put a little bit of rollers in the back and a big blower motor, to me, that's kind of like the real deal.
Right. So this car here, this is Periwinkle. This is Rick's favorite car. So when guests come on Saturdays to visit the museum, he will be here and start that at least 2 to 3 times during the day,
Oh,
just
nice.
to let the guests. Oh, it sounds amazing. But this is a car he takes to all of his car shows. He adores this car.
So I was pretty astute which car I kind of singled to talk about some more. I got it.
Good call.
So before we get out of here, because our shows always we have so much fun, we go, oh man, now we're getting kind of towards the end. Where do you see the industry going? Because you're very active in SEMA. I've been the pleasure of being with them for many years. I've been their auctioneer and MC for different events. So where do you
Right.
see the automotive industry going in probably the next 5 to 10 years?
It's an interesting time. COVID has really thrown a wrench into all of this with supply chain, and now with, just finding, people to come and work. And I was a little shocked. We did a funny car fever event earlier this year, and we invited some funny cars here. And some of the teams weren't able to make it either because they didn't have the parts because they're back ordered, or they didn't have the crew to be able to come and put the car on display.
Wow.
And those are things you never really saw
Yeah.
that coming. You think of this as a passionate industry and people want to jump at it, but it's like that was concerning for me. It's like, why don't we have people that just are
Yeah.
going for that opportunity? So, but all in all, I think we're a strong industry.
Yes, ma'am.
Motorsports is strong. We're going to overcome this. We're a tough group of people, and resilient and
Yeah.
passionate. And I think that passion is always going to pull through.
Exactly correct. So before we get out of here, I got a couple questions for you. But before I go there, as you reflect back, what's some of the favorite comments or feedback you've had from people that have walked through your amazing museum?
I think the most memorable is our grand opening when
Oh,
they cut
really?
the ribbon on the Lions drag strip exhibit. And we opened the doors and the lights went on and the music sounded and you could hear the roar of lions. We had Larry Sutton on the starting line, and Judy Thompson, who was Mickey's wife at the time when they managed Lions, cut the ribbon with Rick Lorenzen. And
Wow.
just the look on everybody's faces and tears coming down their eyes. It was so emotional. And I will never forget that moment here. That was wonderful. And what's lovely is we continue to have that. When people walk in, they walk through those Lions doors and see that exhibit. And it just brings back I believe, a time in their life that they really cherish.
I'm glad you mentioned that because when I was talking with Kenny, he was so excited about the work he'd done on the mural.
Oh,
And and his
he's so
eye, yeah,
talented.
his eyes lit up and he was like 17 years old again.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's funny with Kenny. I mean, I love Kenny. I've
Yes.
known Kenny probably since I was 12 years old, going over to Steve Pluger's race shop, and he would be painting the headlights on the funny cars. And
Yes.
he's so extremely talented
Yes.
and such a great soul. And I think that passion that he has and his love for lions, I mean, it shows through
Yep.
in the
Absolutely.
artwork in this exhibit. There's by far none um, how important he is to this exhibit.
And we're thrilled to have him on the show later this year. Here's a little inside trader fact nobody really knew. Kenny lived with Mary and I for about 6 months here in Las Vegas. That was an adventure.
Oh, I bet. But he's such a doll. I mean, is there not like a person with the biggest heart
Yeah.
ever? I mean,
Yeah.
he's such a great heart. I just adore him.
He's
Yeah,
so kind.
great.
I think we've got some contact information so people know how to get a hold of y'all.
Yes.
So you kind of walk us through that real quickly?
Yeah, Lions Automobilia Foundation. Yeah, reach out to us if you go and visit us on our website. We have a great website, shows a lot of photographs of the foundation. Um, you know, we have a great selection where fan photos are involved, a lot of foundation photos, project photos. Our events are all listed on the website. Reach out. Our phone number and our email address. Also, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We have our YouTube channel. So we welcome you to engage with us. And if you want to share photos or stories, please email
Very
us.
cool.
We're always open and welcome to hear stories.
Okay, before you get out of here, and you said you always enjoyed watching our show. Thank you very much. Always have a couple
Absolutely.
last questions. What's your favorite? I think I might know where this one goes. What's your favorite automotive memory?
Oh my gosh. You know what? Probably it was at Pomona, the Winter Nationals for the 50th anniversary.
Nice.
It was really great. My dad won the first Winter Nationals there, and I had the opportunity of driving his 29 Model A in a parade run on Pomona with my mom and my children in the back seat.
Wow.
And that was great because I got to drive my father's car at Pomona where he won the 51 Nationals. So it's like that was my best moment ever.
Best moment ever. And before we go to the last question, real quick, I believe you have some opportunities for car clubs to become members of your museum. So it's more than just a museum. There's different ways to actually
Yeah,
get involved.
absolutely. We
Okay.
have memberships, and we have what we call our feature car club Saturdays, which
Okay.
if car clubs want to come together, and we put them all in front of the museum, and we have our social media team interviewing them and talking about them. We promote their clubs because I think clubs
Beautiful.
need that.
Yes.
We need to really share how
Excellent.
important the car club community is. And so they are our superstars that day. They come here,
Very
they
cool.
gather, they have lunch here. So it's a great opportunity to see the car club community together.
Okay, before we say goodbye, I promise this will be my last question. What's your favorite automobile?
That would be my 29 Model A of my dad.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was there when we restored
Nice.
it. It was,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm definitely my daddy's little girl,
Good for you.
and he was my hero. So being able to be a part of that project, that is close to my heart.
Excellent. Well, Lana, we want to thank you so much for being on the show with you. You have a big event coming up in December. We'll be sharing that on social media for you. Until we get a chance to see each other down the road, you have a great weekend.
You
Bye-bye
too.
for
Thank
now.
you for having me on the show. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. I want to thank Lana Chrisman at the Lions Memorial how do I do that? Lions Automobilia Foundation and Museum. Fantastic place to check out everything that's going on. Until we get together again, enjoy the ride.